Sometimes there is nothing scarier than thinking about cold cases. Cases where just hearing about them chill you to the bone. So today, let's talk about 5 cases that we never thought would get solved, but did. These cases were cold for several years and they finally eventually got solved. So we'll go over what they are and how they got solved and the outcome of the criminal. The first solved cold case is that of Dennis Rader, otherwise known as the BTK Killer, which meant bound, torture, kill. He was captured in 2014 after the case had been cold for 21 years, from 1974 to 1995. Now, he had over 17 years of killings that included the brutal murders of over 10 people in Kansas. His main source of killing was binding, torturing, and then killing all of his victims. He would often write letters and pictures and send them to the Wichita Police Department. Where is he now? He is actually sentenced to life imprisonment with no parole for 175 years. That is 10 consecutive life sentences. He remains jailed to this moment. The next case is that of John Wayne Gacy. Gacy first was arrested for sexually assaulting teenage boys in 1968. He was sentenced to 10 years in jail and released within 2 years for good conduct. His cold case years were 1972 to 1978, totaling 6 years. He began working as a clown at a community event and became a beloved figure around town. Later, police discovered that he had killed 33 men and boys and stashed their bodies in his land. In 1978, he was captured after he was led to the disappearance of a 15-year-old boy that survived, and closely followed within the week up with police, and they went to Gacy's home and shit hit the fan. They eventually received a confession from Gacy and started discovering all of the bodies. Where is he now? He was executed in 1994 via lethal injection. The next case is that of Ariel Castro. His cold case year began in 2002 and ended in 2013, totaling 11 years. Between 2003 and 2004, Castro kidnapped Amanda Berry, Gina DeJesus, and Michelle Knight. He imprisoned them in his cellar in Cleveland, Ohio, just a few blocks from their own homes. He subjected them to relentless torture, physically and sexually, impregnating them and beating them to induce miscarriages, mainly in Michelle. Amanda was allowed to have her child, however. The capture was in 2013 when Berry got the attention of the neighbors, and they then called 911. Police quickly came to rescue the women and arrest Castro. Where is he now? Castro hanged himself after only 1 month in prison. The next case is that of Jeffrey Dahmer. His cold case years were 1978 to 1991, totaling 13 years. He brutally murdered 17 boys and men over the course of those 13 years. But the gruesomeness didn't stop once they were dead. He had sex with the corpses, ate the bodies, and stashed them in his own home, mostly in the fridge and refrigerator, cutting their body into pieces. For the capture, in 1991, Dahmer lured a man back to his apartment in Milwaukee. The victim managed to escape and flagged down the police. Dahmer was later arrested. He attempted an insanity plea but was convicted of 15 out of the 16 murders he committed in Wisconsin. Where is he now? In 1994, a fellow inmate beat him to death. The next case is that of Chester Turner. His cold case years were 1987 to 2007, totaling 20 years. To date, Turner is known to have strangled and killed 15 women in the Los Angeles area between 1987 and 1998. He was one of the 3 serial killers who were targeting the LA women area during the crack cocaine epidemic of the 80s and 90s. The capture. Turner was in and out of jail between 1995 and 2002 for various offenses. In 2002, a sexual assault put him in a state prison for 8 years. Once they got a hold of his DNA, they matched him with previous unsolved murders, and he was sentenced to death in 2017 and has since matched to additional unsolved cases. Where is he now? He is currently awaiting death on death row. Our final case is that of Henry Lee Lucas. His cold case years started in the 1960s and lasted over 20 years. The death toll is not exactly known at this time. He was once known as America's most prolific serial killer, with an estimated 350 deaths to his name, although he claimed to kill over 3,000 at one point. He was first jailed for burglary at the age of 18. By this time, he had already murdered a girl for resisting rape. He later killed his mother and his 15-year-old love, the niece of his accomplice as well. He was also arrested in 1983 for possession of a deadly weapon. For the capture, authorities eventually questioned the veracity of his claims, and many of his confessions were seemingly used to curry flavor while he was in prison. Where is he now? He died in prison in 2001 at the age of 64 due to heart failure. So with his case, most of his stories were just to spice things up. Hope y'all enjoyed my Friday 5. Don't forget to like and subscribe and drop me a comment below and hit that thumbs up.